What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another yet amazing episode of the Gotham After Show. I'm your boy Devon, as always. To my left is David. And then we have Vi and Tommy, your favorite co-hosts. And yes, I am wearing a green shirt. You probably have never seen me in a green shirt like this before. Plus, I'm using smaller technology. We're not using the giant iPad today. We're going to use my iPhone 6.
Changes
Yes.
in the air. What's going on? What is going on?
So I hope you guys enjoyed that episode, okay? It was very different and interesting, you know? I thoroughly enjoyed it to a certain extent.
I would just like to point out that different and interesting are adjectives that people use when they don't like something. So I'm going to call shenanigans on that, but...
Well, she just called shenanigans on me. Guys, I'm excited to be back, so my words might be a little hubble sometimes, okay? So, we got to start off the episode. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to YouTube, Twitter, and or Facebook, or whatever forms of social media you have, and hit us up, #GothamAS, with any questions or remarks and or statements that you have for any one of us, because we love to talk back to you. Even on YouTube. Yeah, like comment and stuff. We like to read that stuff, man. We do our best.
We like to read.
We do, most of the time. And we're going to start off with fish, okay? Because we got that little slippery fish right in the beginning of the episode. Now, she was hatching her escape plan, as we see.
Yeah.
Okay, but unfortunately, Fish, being the slippery little blue-eyed fish that she is, she definitely set up those large prisoners that were down there.
Yeah.
Sent them to their graves by
Yeah.
fire squad.
I like that. I like that she's like total backstabber. She doesn't got size on her side. I noticed that whenever they're doing shots of her, they always do them like ground up, you know, to make her look taller or whatever. So I thought that was cool. And I totally called it she was going to be able to fly a helicopter. I'm like,
you did.
Fish can fly a helicopter.
You did. You did. How did you feel about that, David? Because I know we all heard that news about Jada not being in season 2.
That's right.
So who called it at the beginning of the season that she's not going to make it past season 1?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know, David.
And that was just like every episode, I'm just waiting for her to die.
Yeah.
You know, because it's going to happen within the next 3.
No offense to Jada Pinkett, though. So, Jada, if you're watching, I have nothing but love for you and your husband, Willard Christopher Smith Jr. But it's just a character that I saw being the antagonist of the first season and then not being in the second. And then we got confirmation. And now she's been shot. She has been shot with a high-powered rifle bullet. Now, this is different than a spoon to the eye, I'm assuming. Because that she
Which
actually...
do you think is worse? Which do you think is worse?
Well, from her reactions to the pain, I'm assuming the bullet was worse. Because the spoon to the eye, she was like, ah!
Yeah, but then she passed out after the spoon.
She did, but she's like right now, she kind of got a focus to fly this helicopter.
That's
She's kind of
right.
doing
She
Matrix
kind of just
style.
shook it off. She was like,
yeah. She's got her
Fly
little
this
school
way.
of fish that she's got to take care of, just like Mama Bird. Like, I got to take care of my little criminal
Yeah, what is? I can't remember the correlation she has with the guy that she took. What was his name?
He was like her first friend. He was
Is
the
that what
one
it
that
was?
like explained what was
Kelly.
Yeah,
Yes.
that explained
The
what was going
unisex
on.
name Kelly. Yes.
Love those unisex names.
And I mean, he got what? Stabbed, shot in the stomach, was it?
Yeah, how do you get sick?
Oh, no,
no,
he
I
got,
think
like,
they took like his kidney or something.
That's what it was. I think she had said something about, I got to send you up there because they got to take something, and they sent him back down. Was that the whole little thing with them?
Yeah.
Because, you know, she's like the messiah of the underground currently.
Yeah, she is.
And speaking of messiah, by the way, which I don't think this has any correlation, Alfred, the vigilante.
He is kind of a messiah. He's pretty cool.
He is. He's my messiah.
Yeah.
Okay? Because Alfred is like a Swiss Army knife of British human beings.
Yes.
Okay? He's literally can do whatever you need, whenever you need. And I quite
Except
enjoy it.
heal from a stab wound.
Yeah, he's not Wolverine. Okay, that's Marvel. We're not even gonna go there. And he's not Canadian, so it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
You know?
He's just
But
human.
he is planning his revenge. How do you think he's gonna play this out? Because he's plotting some serious revenge here.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have Selina Kyle kill the guy who stabbed him.
You think so?
Yeah, I predict that happens.
That would be interesting.
I
That
think
would be
that's how
very
he gets his revenge.
You know, I think that happened. Were you asleep for that?
Oh, I didn't watch the episode tonight. No,
Leave it to
I'm
Tommy
just kidding.
Beasy. Leave it to
I think
Tommy.
he's going to be a little disappointed when he tries to figure out what's going on himself.
That's his
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think
that was his friend.
he might feel a little betrayed because that is his friend.
What was his name? Archie?
I forgot.
Reggie.
Reggie.
Reginald.
Reggie's my friend.
Reggie.
You have to
Yeah.
say his name that way. Reginald. But,
That was good.
oh, thank you.
That's good,
You know,
Sean
I do-
Connery.
I do my
You and your
best.
impressions, man.
Hey, you know. But anyway, I do want to also give, before we continue, a live shout out to Matt at, he has a what is it,
Podcast.
No, Blogspot. I think it's the blog. Legionsofgotham.org.
Oh, yeah, Legions of Gotham.
Yes, and he's writing a Batman book, which comes out in October.
What?
Now,
Yay!
me being a professional fan fiction writer myself,
That's
as
right.
we've all seen before, I will be purchasing this book, Matt. So shout out to you and your loved ones, and I will read this book. You better blow my mind.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I'm expecting some Frank Miller out of you
Glad
right
you said
now.
mind at the end of that phrase.
Right?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
was getting real nervous. 'Cause you and Matt had a real connection there.
Hey,
Yeah?
well, cat's out of the bag. Okay?
Bam.
Speaking of cats,
Speaking of cats.
the cat and the bat.
Oh,
Okay.
the cat and the
Yep.
bat.
Cat.
I
love
went
it.
there. I went there. Okay. And let's just say that Selina probably has the best investigative abilities that I've seen out of anyone in the show. Did she not hunt down Reginald?
Yeah.
Where Bruce has been running down this entire city.
Right.
With, he probably got Google Maps. I don't know what he uses.
Right.
I don't know what timeline
Gotham
they're
Maps.
in. And he searched every gun range, and I guess shooting gallery refers to this homeless
Look,
area.
Shooting.
Uh,
Shooting.
you
Yep.
know what?
Mind
I
blowing.
You're
that
so
did not
innocent.
click.
You're like
Oh,
Bruce
really?
Wayne.
You just now got that?
I just now got that.
I mean, the whole drugs they were holding out of the window.
You were-
never
when he
Right.
said my medicine, I was like, oh no, his
Devon is
prescription.
so innocent. He's like little Bruce Wayne, and we're like
is,
three
and
Catwomen to
we are.
go teach him that
You the
shooting.
most.
Hey, and we see now, because remember we referenced Selina Kyle teaching Bruce a lot, not necessarily teaching, I won't say teaching, influencing a lot of his future vigilante techniques.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
kiss,
Crime fight.
first murder,
Hey, and he was
second murder. 'cause
he
his
was about
parents were
to
the
get
first one he ever
yes,
saw.
he was about to get them hands on them cheeks, but he was
Yeah.
like, I'm unsure about this.
He's going in
and
for
then
the
Selena was
Wayne
like,
grope.
you know what? I'm not going to make you do it because I know you're never going to kill in the future.
Right.
Yeah, and I would
Okay.
love to hear what you guys think about what happened, about why Selina did it. I think that she saw that he couldn't do it, and so she's going to do it for him. But also, I wonder if she was like, I don't want him to become a murderer, so I want to do it for him.
One of those like,
or,
I don't want you to be like me type moments.
Yeah.
Even though I don't
know.
think she's necessarily that bad of a person, she's
Yeah.
just
She
very
has like
antsy.
scooped out eyes before.
She just, like,
Remember,
killed
she
someone.
She
clawed
did,
out those
but she
eyes,
looks
yeah.
to have nicely trimmed fingernails. I don't know how she got in there, but
I know.
I've never scratched out an eye
Great
before.
history.
Go get her.
Me either.
You're the ex-military man. You got any techniques for us?
Scratching out an eye?
Kill Bill style? You talking about the Kill Bill? And
I like that you did
okay.
a weird popping sound effect. That made it so gross.
And he was referencing to two people. One was, I think his name was
like-
Tommy Skimiski.
No, it was a B.
Well, then there was
an-
two. The
No.
second one was Sid Bunderslaw.
Bunderslaw.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Mathis was.
I don't know why you
Yeah,
give
Yeah.
I don't know where
Confusing
you
names.
got the S name.
I don't know why you gave him these confusing names. You
Yeah.
could just say it's the board of Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah, that-
and then we were like,
Right.
all right, got it.
Which I was expecting because remember we did get to see,
Yeah.
him
Right.
sitting in the room like, I'm not too sure about this part here. He's my friend. And then they were like, did you do what we told you to? And he's like, yeah, I did it. All right, cool.
He's like, yeah,
Man.
I stabbed Al.
That kind of, yeah, like that's my friend there. So, I mean, I'm hoping we get to see this Bunderslaw character before
Yeah.
the end of this season. I mean, maybe Bruce eventually finds out. What did you say you heard at WonderCon? They said, what about Bruce?
Oh, well, I was reading what one of the producers wrote or released at WonderCon, and he said that in season 2, we're not going to, he doesn't mention Bunderslaw, but he mentioned some other things. I'll talk about that later when we start having predictions and stuff like that.
Okay,
But
okay.
he didn't mention Mathis or Bunderslaw. But I have a strong feeling it's a Wayne Core character that we've already met before, like that. There was like a lawyer lady or something
Yeah.
that he was running around with and playing with. I
Oh.
think that her name might have been Mathis. I don't know. You guys double fact check me.
Yeah,
guys
please
remember
do.
that?
And remember, comment on every form of social media, Facebook,
Yeah.
Twitter,
Feel
YouTube.
free.
Let us know, because sometimes
all the things.
we mess up like everybody else, and we're not perfect, okay?
only human.
But somebody that I know will be in season 2, that oh so fancy swimming bird, the
Oh,
penguin.
Well,
Yes. And now we finally see why he wanted that specific restaurant so bad.
Mm-hmm.
He said, this is where I'm going to kill Don Maroney.
Which was a shock. I thought he was going to say, I just love their appetizers.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes
me,
appetizers are worth losing
The
fingers for.
ambiance is worth taking over, but
some mozzarella sticks are to die for.
tell me about
Literally.
it. Applebee's, we're here, your family. That's Olive Garden.
Like I said, people, we mess up just like everyone else.
We're human. But you know what? Music for the Radio in the chat, and all of us were on the same page that we thought that this random guy that had abducted the restaurant owner's daughter was going to be the ogre. And I think that was kind of a missed opportunity. That would have been cool to like have Penguin do some accidental like hero work or something, I thought that would have been really cool.
Yes, and speaking of the ogre, by the way, we cannot completely miss the fact that Jim Gordon was running around this episode and looking for the man, the ogre, who happened to be a very suave, debonair character.
Yeah.
So, David, please enlighten us on as far as your knowledge on the ogre, because the ogre I'm thinking of is green and has Eddie Murphy as a best friend, but I don't know if that's.
So I'm gonna be like completely honest. I had no clue who the ogre was, but then they released the information last week that the villain was the ogre. So I, started doing my research, and like it's some like offbeat character. He only ever appeared in one Batman canon comic.
Yeah.
And all it was is there was like some doctor experimenting on people, like trying to create the perfect human for like, I don't know, like assassinations or military stuff. And he ended up creating this one guy, and I don't understand what they meant, but his brother was a gorilla. I don't know what the hell that means. But they created like this one guy, he escaped, ended up killing the doctor, and then he disappears into the streets of Gotham, kind of like a Frankenstein type character, because they've experimented on him so much. So then they're like, oh, this ogre that's in the TV show Gotham they're making him a suave, rich serial killer, but he tests the women that he's with for the perfect woman. So it's a little different.
So it's kind of like if 50
Do you-
Shades of Grey wasn't erotic, if it was more of a horror.
Scientific.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie? It is a horror.
Well, that I understand, but I mean, like, if it was an actual, like, shink horror,
Yeah.
and just getting stabbed with an actual knife, not organs, but yeah.
It seems like that's like a pretty Gotham move, though. Take like a real obscure character and just make him something completely
That's
different.
like super obscure
But
character.
then it's almost like why use that same name? I don't know. It just
You could've just made somebody
it
up
seems like
at
an
that
accidental red herring to me. But I will say that Milo Ventimiglia kills it. And does anyone know if he's going to be part of the Heroes Reborn thing? I look forward to that. And who's excited?
Only if he gets all his powers back.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the one power thing.
And who's excited about seeing that the ogre might slice and dice Barbara next episode? Who saw that?
Uh-oh. But we also got some Leslie foreshadowing. Remember, she was like, oh, who's this girl? She looks just like me. Oh, we're about the same age. Oh, and we're about the same height and weight. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh.
So it was like, quote unquote, she might get snatched up. So guys, be ready for that. Well, we predicted it, but we could be completely wrong. As I said, we are human. But don't go anywhere, because right now you're about to get a clip from your only boy right here, Tommy Beasy, and Geek 360, which you'll see every Thursday. Check it out. Check it out.
Our Geek of the Week is CuriousJoy.com, who is, of course, celebrating a birthday today. I didn't know that, but I'm just intuitive and know when people deserve a shout out. Curious Joy, she does everything. She interviews comic book artists, she vlogs about conventions, tries out geeky products. What's not to love about Curious Joy? Check her out on Twitter. I believe it's @CuriousJoy.
With an I.
With an I. Curious Joy. It's almost French. I like that. Make sure you check out her site. For more Geek 360, click subscribe on theStream.tv.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed your own private time with Tommy Beasy.
It was nice. It
himself.
was back when I had longer hair. It was a little
Right?
throwback.
Memories.
Yeah, TBT right there. That was nice. That was nice.
Just those days.
It was. And before we continue, I also want to give another shout out to Phil Perch on Twitter at @BeforeTheBatPod. He does a podcast.
Wow.
And so check him out on iTunes and whatnot. Cool guy, by the way. We just met thanks to Megan. Megan from the Pretty Little Liars After Show. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that one.
It's all coming together.
All coming together.
All
Look at
right
that.
now, see,
Teamwork.
we're one big family.
Synergy.
So don't forget, guys, subscribe YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and also if you got your questions, which we're about to move on to, hashtag with Gotham AS, okay?
Yeah.
So question number 1 comes from @BertCleaverhook on Twitter.
Ooh.
Since it's too soon for a fully fledged Harley and Joker, do you think we'll get a similar relationship with Kringle and Riddler instead?
I like that. Oh, he hates it. Look at him.
We got complete different reactions right now. We got the hated it, we got the loved it.
I would like it.
I mean, what you think, Tommy?
Oh, I think that Miss Kringle needs to shed those glasses soon because they've done the whole like she's super hot, but like clearly nerd her up for a while. I think they're setting her up for like a pretty dramatic like reveal where like maybe she cut like Nigma gets fired and like he's like, what am I gonna do? And she's like, I have an idea.
And she does the like classic 80s like movie scene where she takes the glasses off and like throws her hair out, and it turns out that like the geek girl's beautiful.
And then they go on a rampage.
Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde style. Pew pew pew.
Leaving questions everywhere. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What you think?
A riddle rampage.
I think somebody asked me a question similar to this on Twitter a couple weeks ago about God, I'm trying to remember their names. I think it's Query and Echo, who are Riddler's versions of Harley.
Yeah.
He's got two girls instead of just one.
Oh,
I like that.
Oh, jeez, he's a
And he
pimp.
recently found these
Riddler.
girls at a burlesque club
Oh.
and recruited them from there. I don't know.
Riddler let him stripples.
I mean, you know how Gotham always changes things up, so maybe they might reduce it to one, and maybe Miss Kringle will be one of them.
What if it's a set of twins?
I think Echo's the one that's is it Query? One of them's a redhead and looks like Miss Kringle. So, you know.
What if Miss Kringle is some sort of like Santa Claus
Or
type super
split
villain?
personalities. Yeah. So she could really be crazy. Like she has that at-work personality, then she got the Kringler.
Then she got
She's
the
a Kringle at
sneak
work.
freak personality.
So yeah, maybe
Lady
she really does
in the
work at that
sheets.
burlesque
Lady in the
club.
sheets.
You know them girls
Kringle in the
streets.
streets.
Okay, I'm liking this, David. High five.
Great
Guys,
theories.
let us know what you think about that question, because that was a very good question.
Great
Bert.
question,
Great
Bert Cleaver
freaking
Hook.
question, Bert. Okay.
Hook.
Next question comes from Justin Reese 24, and he sent this a long time ago. But
boy.
you know what? I digs up the old stuff. So let's see what you got.
Good one.
From the
It
archives.
says, I think the mayor killed Bruce's parents. If you look back at the killer, he was big, and the mayor is big. So what do you guys think?
Great connection there.
I think you have a body type bias.
But I mean, from what we've been seeing so far, especially with the mayor and whatnot, I wouldn't put it past him. Okay,
That mayor's an asshole in Gotham.
is.
What's his problem?
He was great. I loved what an imbecile he was. Like how he was not necessarily good at his job, but I think that he's the kind of guy that wouldn't do his own dirty work. I personally thought that it was Reggie or Butch.
I still think it's Butch.
You think so? I think he might be onto something. You know, maybe the mayor did. You know, because he seems like maybe he had, maybe this was before he was mayor, because who knows how long he's been. No, never mind. I don't know why. Bruce is still the same age. Never mind. But like,
I retract that.
Yeah, I take that statement back. I'm sorry. But maybe they had something. They were like they kidnapped somebody that he knows. They had some leverage over him and was like, you got to do this because we need this from Wayne Enterprises, and those two are in the way type deal. Sure. You know,
Yeah.
maybe. So, you know, also good question, Justin. You know, sorry it took so long to get to it, but that's just how it is sometimes.
Good question,
you know what I'm
Justin.
saying?
Great job.
Yeah.
Next question,
I like it.
number 3, comes from Dylan Murphy on YouTube. YouTube, was it?
Yeah.
Yes, on YouTube.
He was hanging out in the chat.
He asked, do you think / hope that they will do a time jump between every season? Now, I mean, I'm gonna let y'all get on, but I remember I had a prediction about this. I was like, because I don't think we want to continually see like 9-year-old Bruce or however old he is, like 10 seasons. So I feel like they will give us one of those, like they'll end it with all right, Alfred, I'm taking a long journey. Kind of like on Naruto when he left with
Jiraiya Sensei.
Yeah, he came back like 3 years later.
Yeah,
and he was
yeah,
like
yeah,
older.
yeah.
I feel like we might get
I don't
that.
understand anything.
I think we need that.
We
This
need it?
show needs that.
And what would you say about the WonderCon thing? Now this
Okay.
is WonderCon.
Yeah. So, did anyone keep up with what producer John Stevens said at WonderCon? He said, I want to get this quote right. And the second season would bring the emergence of the character billionaire Bruce Wayne. That's his quote. The emergence of character billionaire Bruce Wayne. So my question is, does this mean Baby Bat just all of a sudden has billions of dollars, or maybe he already does, or does this mean that we're going to jump ahead in the future? What do you guys think?
And he's the playboy now. And going
Yeah,
out
I
and
feel like
doing
he's a
things.
little bit older, and now he's like into women. You know, maybe him and Selena then messed around a little bit, and he was like, you know what? I realize I'm rich. Like I can get all of them. So you know, maybe he starts putting on that persona, and maybe he's starting to think like, I'm gonna start doing my my little Daredevil night prowls, and he's
That'd
like,
be
I need to
cool.
build
Like,
up a character.
Come back next season where he's like, I don't know, maybe like 16.
That's what I think that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any older than that, I
So
think
like
then
he's
they've already
going out,
given
he's
him
doing
on the
these
show.
things. We can introduce a lot more characters at that point
Yeah.
because he's older. So
Yeah.
and then maybe like you could show like him and Selina running around the city like every once in a while on the weekend, just
knocking
messing
her
up
up.
crooks.
Yeah.
And you know that'd be cool to see, and I think that'd be a direction that the show needs to go.
Yeah,
Yes.
they also said that they're bringing back Jerome. So all you guys who thought that he was just going to be a one and done, he's not. He's
Yeah, they said
coming
he's coming back.
They also said they're bringing back that they're going to show Clayface and the Mad Hatter. So, and also while I got you here, I want to do those YouTube shout outs because we missed them a second ago, and it's always fun hanging out with you guys in the chat. I didn't see you, Blue Etrigon, until very late, but better late than never. Music for the radio, you always have the smartest stuff to say. Someone named Ant, Ashay Nagar came late to the party. Who else do we got in there?
It looks like you
stole it from me.
Oh, Dylan Murphy.
Oh, yeah,
again.
Dylan Murphy,
we
of
had
course,
Dylan
with the great
Murphy.
question.
We answered your question there, bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh. But yeah, I think we're.
Yeah, you stole it from me just when I was
My bad. It was right there.
But yeah, thanks for joining me in the chat. It's always fun to hang out with you guys.
And as always, guys, it is a pleasure. Don't forget to check out let me make sure I get it right. I don't want to say it wrong. Make sure you check out Matt with legionsofgotham.org, his blog, and don't forget his book coming in October. And also, remember to check out Phil Parrish at Before the Bat Pod on iTunes. Okay, he has his bat Before the Bat on iTunes,
Yeah.
so check that out too. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, any form of social media. I repeat that all the time.
Handshakes in the street if you see us.
If you see us,
Yeah.
hopefully not in a dark alley, let me hit the street first, you know? And then, yeah, other than that, guys, it's always a pleasure, and we will see you again, luckily, next week. No more hiatus this time. Looks like we're making home stretch. Okay, so it's about to get real. And don't forget, penguin, eat fish.
Don't forget.
Very poignant.
Join the conversation for your favorite TV shows. Hit us up on theStream.tv or subscribe on the YouTube channel. Also, don't forget, send us all your questions and everything on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media you got. If you don't got one, send a pigeon with a letter. We're going to be right here.